Was wird daraus, wenn der Bohne mal tot geht? Wo landen diese Sachen? Wo landen diese Instrumente? Was wird daraus?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the closing ceremony for MagpieCTF 2024. I hope everybody got to participate. Everybody had fun, hopefully. And now we're gonna show off kind of what we learned, what we saw, kind of things that happened during the CTF. So you can probably see behind me here are the slides, but I'm also going to show them on screen. All right, so Thank you everybody for participating in MagpieCTF 2024, MagpieCTF or MagpieCTF. These schools that we saw represented was an unfinished slide, which says please replace with logos later. And then all of the teams or schools we saw represented at the CTF. Thank you again to our sponsors, Air Canada, and also Jake. Jake. Thank you for helping us make this CTF happen. So again, a little bit about us. We are an undergraduate student club here at the University of Calgary. We have practice sessions on Thursdays from 5 to 7 p.m. We have our speaker series sometimes online where we get people to come in and talk about their experience in the industry. We also have our website, our email, and our social media, all InfoSecUCalgary, and our email is infosec.ucalgary@gmail.com. Here are all of our executives. So myself, Fam, Artemi, Ned, Kimmy, Mariana, Christina, Amna, our director, Yasmin, and our junior executives, Nicholas, Emmanuel, Ramez, Sean, Paige, Royce, Khadija, and Dante. For our challenges, here are some of our favorite submissions from the CTF. If you didn't know, we can see all of the submissions that you made, and we saw quite a few interesting ones from Jacob Smith to me. Somebody just kept submitting all the names of the different executives. I think that was for the Jacob Smith challenge. Cookies, somebody actually put Alex's Discord status, not even in Magpie, just the status. The regular expressions from the rules channel. Give me the flag, which I think was from the, I think it was Locked Out. It was the binary exploitation challenge. And then the rules. Another one was somebody just put the entire CSS of a web page as a flag. So that was a lot of fun. In total, we had a 25 approximately percent correct flag submission rate and a whopping 75% incorrect flag submission rate, with a total of 1,084 submissions. In terms of categories, we had one OSINT, one binary exploitation, I believe, 5, my brain is blanking, 5 forensics, 2 cryptography, 1 networks, and 3 reverse engineering, and 1 web exploitation. Here are all the solve counts. You can see by far the rule is solved. That's a good sign. Rewind and PDF forensics were the 2 easiest. Space escape and so on and so forth, until we reach, unsurprisingly, Jacob Smith, having been only solved by, I think, 3 teams? 2 teams? Yeah. The solve percentages per challenge. Rule was solved by all of the ones participating, or rule was required to solve in order to solve every other challenge. Then you can see here, rewind, PDF forensics, so on and so forth. So for the cryptography challenges, arbitrary or not was a crypto challenge requiring a little bit of elliptic curve knowledge. This was authored by Christina. Expected about 50% to solve. That was maybe a little bit too high for a crypto challenge, and it ended up with a 12% solve rate. Rewind was meant to be just using a bunch of ciphers. I believe it was 3 different ciphers, ROT13, DES, and HIL. We expected about a 90% solve rate, but it ended up being just under half of that at 40%. For Space Escape, that was just using reverse engineering tools. That was authored by Paige, and at an expected 90% solve rate, we actually got also just under half at 38.5%. Command and Conquer was actually pretty close to the expected solve rate with 15%, and then an actual solve rate of 10.8%. Patch the Unseen was a .NET executable challenge with an expected solve rate of 50% and actual solve rate of 20%. I think Command and Conquer is the one with actually the closest expected solve rate. although maybe Jacob Smith as well. Never mind, Jacob Smith had a 10% expected solve rate with a 33.1% expected solve rate, so I ate my words. For binary, the free challenge, which required integer overflow and use after free, was authored by Christina as well, 50%, and again, a 20% solve rate. Locked out was a buffer overflow by Dante. We expected this to have about a 70% solve rate, but actually ended up being 27.7%. This was a buffer overflow involving a little bit of regular expressions as well. So, Trust Me Bro, Birds Are Real by Nick. This required looking at page source and deobfuscating JavaScript. This had a 50% expected solve rate, was actually 32.3%, so over half of the expected solve rate. For our forensics challenges, morning announcement by Amna Adnan had an LSB skill set, 35% expected solve rate, actual is 13.8%. Latent Pearls by Mariana, actually probably the largest difference in solve, was uncropping a JPEG image, which is apparently harder than we expected. Expected about 90% people to figure this one out, but was actually solved by only 9.2% of teams. For Zoo Video, we actually saw a lot of flags coming in here. So this one was made by Emmanuel and required stack hide and bin walk. A lot of people ended up finding the password, which was Zoo is very, very fun. And they thought that was the flag, but it didn't have the magpie brackets around it. So you actually needed to use that to get the actual flag. So it ended up with a 23.1% solve rate. Volatile file required volatility. Royce created this one, had a 15% solve rate, or 15% expected solve with 10.8%. So I think exactly the same or very similar to his other challenge, Command and Conquer. Finally, PDF Forensics was also created by Royce with a 90% expected solve rate and a 41.5% actual solve rate. Finally, for our networks challenge, this required using Wireshark, created by Ned, had a 40% solve rate, or 40% expected solve rate with only a 10.8% solve rate. So this year, our challenges seemed to be a little bit harder than we expected them to be. Now, going on to our finalists, or our highest placing teams. In third place, we have Cyber at UCR, representing UC Riverside. They solved, I don't think they solved 15 challenges, did they? They did? Or including the rule, I think, yeah. So solved 15 challenges. They got 3790 points in total. And congrats to these 4 players, Atem, Karyit, Qat, and Ale. For second place, oh yeah, congratulations. For second place, we have the Lone Warrior Pseudo Bash 418, representing themselves. Solved also 15 challenges, 3,790 points. And yeah, congratulations, very well done. Pseudo Bash 418. And then part of the slide didn't load. Congratulations, part of the slide didn't load for getting first place. Whatever. MagpieCTF got actually 16 challenges, so including the rule would be 16 challenges. They solved all of the challenges, in total 4,282 points, representing the University of Toronto. And congratulations to Steak Enthusiast, DREC, Raccoon Mania, W, and YS for getting first place in our CTF. So congrats, guys. Yeah. As one final disclaimer or reminder, only teams consisting of exclusively Canadian students are eligible for prizes. If top teams are not eligible, then the prizes will be given to the next highest placing eligible teams. So we're going to be confirming eligibility with the top teams, and after the top 3 teams that are eligible are decided, they will be posted also in the MagpieCTF server. So thank you, everybody, for participating in MagpieCTF 2024. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you had fun. And have a great rest of your days. Thank you again, everybody. Yay. Bye, everybody.